Hi guys, today I am back to film a tutorial on this look here. This look is from my February empties video, I believe. But I had on kind of a blue and white, like almost tie-dye dress. My hair was just a little bit curled. And then I had this look on here. And I am using today the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. So it's kind of funny because I remember saying that this was kind of an unfavorite for me. I just didn't really feel that inspired when I used it. And then I ended up getting requests for this look. So it's really simple though. It's like 2 or 3 shadows. It's pretty, I mean, I almost want to say it's kind of monochrome. It's not really, like there's not a lot of dimension between the colors. They're pretty close in tone. So it's pretty close. I mean, you can see the outer is a little bit darker, but for the most part it's pretty close. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy, and I guess I'll see you in a minute. Bye. So to get started, I do have my Nip and Fab Smooth Viper Venom Micro Blur Fix on as my primer. And I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin because one of you guys had requested to see this in an upcoming video. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to be returning this, but I'm going to be returning it just because it's not the correct color. I love the finish of this though. It's just, I don't know, it's a really nice finish. It is kind of just a dummy matte, I guess I would say. It's not really super matte, but it's not super dewy either. But I'm just going to put a couple pumps of that the back of my hand. And I'm going to be using it with the Urban Decay Optical Blurring Brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and, I always start with my forehead. And I kind of just brush outward. My hair is going to get in the way. But, I mean, I did have a couple blemishes on my forehead. I don't know if you could see them before I started, but it did cover those pretty well. This one, the redness is peeking through just a tiny bit, but for the most part, it's got pretty good coverage. But I mean, it's not a horrible match. As you can see, I just have it on my forehead and not the rest of my face. It's not a horrible match. It's just a little off, and I kind of just want to stick with number 1 because I decided to get shade number 0.5, which is the lightest shade, but it is more cool toned. I just felt like shade number 1 sometimes looked a little too yellow, but I'm finding that I just prefer shade 1 over this one. It's just, I don't know. This one's not bad, but I just prefer shade number 1, really. So, but I really like it with the optical blurring brush. It's fine with other brushes too. I just find that this one I like it with the best. And honestly, there's not too many foundations I do like with this brush. Like, I go through phases where I really like it, but for the most part, these two just work really well together. The foundation works fine with other brushes and stuff, but I just feel like this brush doesn't work with too many other foundations very well. So, okay, so I finished up my foundation, and then I actually filled in my brows with my dip brow, and I put on my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Just skipped a couple little steps. Plus my brows have been really bad lately, so whenever I do them, I really have to concentrate on them to make them look somewhat presentable. But I'm going to take my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I'm going to start with the Milk Chocolate color right here and work this into the crease. And I just have a little Sigma fluffy brush. I'm sorry if you guys can hear Damien. He's watching Hobby Kids. He had parent-teacher conferences, so he's home for the day. He had his yesterday, and, you know, good parent-teacher conference. Everything's going great, so. But now he's home today because, you know, they have no school the second day because the second day is usually a little bit more of a full day of conferences, so. And we had ours last night. This is kind of applying a little bit patchy, so I'm going to have to blend it out a little bit more. I don't know. I kind of have that really messily in my crease. It's not perfect. I'm not too worried about it. Now I'm going to take the color, I believe I used Hazelnut, and I'm going to pop this on the lid with just a little shader brush. This eye look is really easy. It's only like 2 or 3 shadows, and it's just basic placement, but I did want to show you guys because it was requested, so I should tap this off a little bit better because it's got some fallout. Plus this color, it always amazes me. It doesn't look that dark in the palette, and then I put it on and I'm like, wow, it's darker than I thought it was. And I Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go over my finger a little bit because I feel like I maybe got a little too much product, and that kind of helped get rid of some of it. So kind of one of the things I like about this look is it is kind of a messier, smoky eye a little bit. I mean, you're just using brown colors, but it's not super precise or anything. So now I'm going to take my pencil brush and my little E25, and I'm going to apply, let's see what the color is. It is semi-sweet. So this kind of more like red toned brown, I guess. It's a little bit warmer. And I'm going to apply that kind of in the outer V and darken that up. I don't use a lot of this color. I mean, I use some, I guess, but I don't really use a ton. So I'm going to apply it with the pencil brush in a little V, and then I'll take the E25 and blend it out. And sometimes I'll take the pencil brush again and kind of apply a little more and then blend a little more. I think the sun is going to be annoying today like it was in my last Get Ready With Me video. And same thing over here, just going to apply with the pencil brush and blend it out. Now I'm going to kind of repeat some steps. I'm going to take milk chocolate again, which was the lighter color, and I'm going to take my E25 and go back through and blend a little bit, and then I'll probably apply a little bit more semi-sweet in the outer V. So I'm just going to kind of repeat some steps just for blending purposes. So now I'm going to take milk chocolate with the pencil brush and do that kind of on the middle section of my lower lash line, and then I will do a semi-sweet on the outer like third, or kind of, I'll probably blend it in about halfway, I guess. It's usually what I do, is I start on the outer third and then I'll blend it in. Milk chocolate, and I'm going to take semi-sweet and start that on the outer third, and then I'll kind of blend it and bring it in about halfway. So now on to some highlighting. I'm going to take my typical little Sigma angled shader brush, and I'm going to take the color white chocolate and use that as my brow highlight. Now I'm on to the inner corner for highlighting. This palette, I feel like I don't have a color in here that I love for the inner corner. So I'm going to go ahead and use Creme Brulee. It's not my favorite. It's a little darker than what I typically like. I think if you're darker in complexion than I am, it probably works okay for inner corner highlighting, but I think it's because I'm so fair that I don't love it. But it works okay since this eye look is a little darker. The color is, I think I might have said Creme Brulee, but it's Marzipan actually. Okay, so now that the actual like shadow part is done, I'm going to take my Ulta Automatic Liner in deep brown, and I'm just going to line my lower waterline and my upper lash line, and then I'm going to set it with a brown eyeshadow. You could use something from the chocolate bar itself, but I'm probably going to use something from my Anastasia Catwalk palette just to get through it a little quicker. My liner is on and it's set, so now on to under eye concealer. I'm taking a mix of two things. This is the NYX Gotcha Covered concealer, and then I'm taking it with the Ulta Full Coverage Concealer. This one's just a little too dark for me, and this one's pretty light. This is a nice color on its own, but the consistency is really thick, so this kind of helps thin it out, and this kind of helps brighten up this one. So I'm going to just take a little mix of those. I usually start with the NYX Gotcha Covered, and I'll just take like a tiny little bit on my finger, and I'll just do, that was kind of a thick dot. I usually just do a couple little dots under each eye. NYX Gotcha Covered, and then now I'm going to take the Ulta one. This is on a little doe foot applicator, so I kind of like that, and I'll go right in between the little spots. I'm going to blend this out with my favorite concealer brush. This is the Sigma F64, and it kind of helps. It works really well with like the NYX concealer because it's really thick. It works well with the Ulta one too, but I feel like it really helps mix the two together. I was using a thinner, kind of smaller brush, and it just wasn't working as well. It was really hard to make the two blend. But because this brush is a little bit bigger, I feel like it works really well for making those two blend. So, and it blends it out really fast. Like, that's already blended out and done. So, I like that too because it makes it really quick. I don't really like to spend a ton of time on concealer anyways. Alright, so now that the under eye concealer's on, I have to set it right away, especially with the NYX Totally Gotcha Covered. So I'm going to take my little Real Techniques setting brush and my NYX Radiant Finishing Powder and just set that really quick. I kind of swirl my brush around here, but I do kind of focus on the yellow a little bit, just because otherwise it comes out really white, and the yellow kind of makes it balance out and not be so stark white under my eyes. So really quick before my dog starts barking again, I'm going to take my CoverGirl Supersizer and apply that to my upper and lower lashes. Just really quick. This mascara, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I like it, but I don't know if I love it. I know a lot of people love it, and I just think mine isn't quite dry enough yet. Like, it's still pretty wet, and it's been a couple weeks. I've used it kind of off and on, so I don't know though. That, and I do poke myself in the eye occasionally with this, but it's not nearly as bad as it is with other plastic ones. So now that I have my mascara on, I don't remember exactly what I used for blush in that video, so I'm going to just make my own little concoction or little mix of things. I'm going to take my NYX Wanderlust blush, and I'm going to mix it actually with a little bit of some contour colors from here and kind of get a kind of goldeny bronze color for my cheeks. So I'm going to mix these two and hopefully it'll work out. I'm a little nervous because I haven't tried this before, but it sounded pretty, so I decided to go with it. But I'm going to start with, I'm going to take a little bit of medium cocoa, a little bit of that, and Wanderlust. And kind of dip back into that one. It's okay. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but not too bad. I might have to mix a little bit of a pink in there though. It's a little orangier than I wanted. Yeah, so let's grab this one here, which is Foreplay. I'm going to mix a little bit of this one in here too. This one's kind of more peachy, but it's also got a little bit more pink in it, so hopefully that'll work. I think it's still just kind of orangey. It'll be alright. We'll work with it. Okay, so blush is done. I went a little heavy-handed, so I had to blend it out. But I'm going to take my Benefit What's Up highlighter and pop that on the tops of my cheekbones really quick. It looks really nice with this blush. It's just the blush is a little orangey, but it does look nice with it. So go ahead and pop this on tops of the cheekbones. Just kind of stipple it on a little bit. So now that all of my face is done, I'm going to go ahead and apply the lip color. This is ColourPop. It's the Ultra Matte Lip in Bumble. I think that Kat Von D's Double Dare is pretty close. I feel like when I have both of them on, I can't really tell a difference. So if you do have that one, you could use that instead. they're pretty similar. I kind of wish I wouldn't have picked up Bumble, but I saw it way too many times on Instagram and convinced myself that I needed it. So, plus my Bumble for some reason gets really separated, so I always have to mix it up a lot and kind of shake it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. I don't use a lip liner. You definitely could, and I probably would recommend it since these are so liquidy, but I usually don't. Alright, and that is the finished look. So if I curled my hair and put my dress on, you would have the same exact look as I had in my February empties video. But we're just running errands today, so I'm not going to do all that. But this is the finished look. I really like the way it turned out. It's really, really pretty. It is kind of dramatic eyes and dramatic lips, but I don't know. I like it. So anyways, I know I do have my favorites video coming up and my empties video coming up. They're going to be a little late this month, but I mean, they're coming. I just haven't had time to actually sit down and actually film like more of a chit-chat video. Since everybody's kind of been home, it's been really difficult. I thought with spring break being over, everybody go back to, you know, normal, but it's still not back to normal. So hopefully next week it'll kind of be a little bit more normal and I can have more time to film. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!